The anticipation. There we go. Now we're going.
There we go. So both runners gonna be entering 1-1 here, and you'll notice that both of them are gonna pick up this mushroom right here. The idea in 1-1 is we want to basically pick up a mushroom so that we can pick up a tail. Ooh, Chuck making a slight missed jump there in 1-1, giving Rupert the slight lead as we exit the first stage of the game. But as I was saying, you know, both runners want to have a mushroom going into the fort. That way they can pick up a tail and hopefully keep their speed in the process. Rupert with a very nice P-speed get. Same with Chuck, both getting the early P-speed in 1-2. Nice little time save. It's rather tricky to get.
It's pretty much like sub-pixel base, is that correct?
Yes, there are. I do believe it is. There are some sub-pixels that it won't work on. Both of them entering the fort now. Looks like both of them aren't going to mess around with the waffle jump. Rupert, unfortunately, failing the quick leaf. Chuck getting it. Very nice, clean quick leaf. You can see how much time that saves, as Chuck has been able to retake the lead.
Roughly a second or two.
Yeah, you'll notice that, you know, both of them got up there and picked up the whistle. Shoutouts to the wizard. This is warpless, so they can't use that whistle, but it is faster than going through the rest of that fortress and killing Boom Boom. Notice both of them taking an intentional hit here at the beginning of 1-5. And that's just because unless we need to fly, we don't really want the tail. Ooh, Rupert taking another hit. That's unfortunate. He'll be able to get back on track at the start of 1-6. But yeah, as I said, you don't really want the tail unless you specifically need to fly, just because it is, in general, slower. You move slower if you jump while you have the tail. You'll just lose horizontal speed for just for jumping. And if you have P-speed with a tail and you jump, the game puts on an internal timer that once that runs out, you just lose P-speed no matter where you're at. So obviously we want to keep P-speed as long as we can. So
yeah, as we see here, Chuck actually got the Hammer Bro in a good place. He actually got a Fire Flower from that one, while Rupert actually fought the Hammer Bro a little earlier. He fought it right before 1-5, so he wasn't able to get a power up there, but he should be able to pick it up in this airship coming up.
yeah, it only saves really the animation of Mario grabbing the Fire Flower, just due to the way the Hammer Brother timer works. But yeah, so it is still a time save and very nice coming into the airship with fire. So yeah, as we move on to the first airship of the run, at the end of every world there is going to be an auto-scroller like this. It is nice to note that there is no RNG on these airships. The cannonballs and flamethrowers fire at timed intervals, and the bullet bills fire depending on proximity. Very nice fire kill from Chuck. It looks like Rupert's just going to go for a jump kill. No shame in that. Fire kills in this game can be quite scary, but it takes 10 fireballs or 3 jumps to kill a Koopa Kid. As you saw from that fight, it was a considerable amount faster to fire kill them, but it is much riskier.
Yeah, especially with the hitboxes in this game as well. Like when you shoot a fireball at the Koopa Kid, sometimes it can just go slightly past them, and it can actually cause a bit of a detriment into, you know, getting the fire kill on the Koopa Kid, because they can sometimes shoot out their magic wand, and you could potentially lose your power up that way. But it's a good thing that Rupert decided to go with the stomp strat instead.
Yeah, as you said, you can only have 2 fireballs on the screen at once, so if you kind of get hitboxed, as it were, from a Koopa Kid and miss a fireball, you're just kind of awkwardly standing there waiting for that fireball to go all the way across the room and hit the wall before you can fire another one, so it can get a little scary.
Alright, so we see Chuck heading into 2-2. He did a butt slide and then jumped to keep his momentum going because he didn't want to take the platform and basically surf across the air. If he were to get stuck on that platform, his momentum will be completely gone, and he will basically be in a magnetic pull, as opposed to, like kind of just jumping and then landing like methodically onto the Koopa shells just to maintain his speed.
Yeah, very nice first room here from Chuck. That P-Speed is not easy to get. Depending on the setup, it can actually be sub-pixel dependent as well. Rupert with another nice setup to get early P-Speed.
Alright.
Now we go into the first boom boom of the fight. Now we kind of see one of the biggest reasons we want to keep fire basically as long as we can in this run. 5 fireballs or 3 jumps to kill Boom Boom. And it's much faster, as you saw. The 5 fireballs is incredibly fast to kill Boom Booms. So, especially over the course of the run, that'll add up to quite a lot of time if you can maintain your fire flower. So both runners are looking to only fight one of these Hammer Bros. Unfortunately, the music box is the one that starts on the screen, and it ran away from both runners, so we'll kind of see what kind of luck we get here. But now the runners do have a way of knowing which bro is which, and this was actually just a recent discovery. Each bro at the end of its movements will always face a certain way, so by knowing which way which bros will face, we can kind of tell, this one's the music box, this one's the hammer. So I expect both of our runners to be pretty well versed in that, and unless we get some trolly hammer bros, we'll probably only be fighting the ones that they need. So you see Chuck moving into 2-4. This is a little bit faster of a stage, but it's kind of a wash. Honestly, the biggest difference between 2-4 and 2-5 is most of the time runners are just going to do whichever one gets them closer to the hammer bro, the boomerang bro that has the hammer, I guess I should say. And both runners, very nice 2-4. 2-4 is much more difficult than 2-5, and both of them handled it very well.
See, it looks like the bro with the hammer is kind of hanging around near the airship level, so they pretty much have a good chance of grabbing it pretty quickly, while the music box is sort of out of the way for the time being.
Yeah, it looks like both actually got identical hammer brother luck. They're both gonna fight the music box, or sorry, the hammer right in front of the fort, and the music box is like right below them. So that's kind of interesting to see the hammer bros both just exactly react the same way. But Chuck and Rupert both making it through one of the most technical levels in the game, in the pyramid. You saw Chuck do a slightly faster brick break on that last section, but very nice on both ends to make it through there with very, very minimal time loss. That stage, like I said, it's incredibly technical. You have to, carry these buzzy beetles around to break those blocks. It's very tricky to keep your speed all the way through that stage, as both runners did. So very well done from both of them. So it looks like they're both on to the World 2 airship. As I said, both of them got basically identical Hammer Brother luck. So no extra music box so far. No Beats by Bro in World 2.
Beats by Bro. Love that.
And another thing I guess we can point out while we're on this wonderful auto-scroller, you'll notice that they're going to be watching their coins and their score this entire run. In Worlds 1, 3, 5, and 6, basically anywhere there's a normal, air quotes, Hammer Bro, you can get what's called a coin ship. If you have a multiple of 11 in your coin count, so say 33, and the tens digit of your score was that same digit, so 30, one of the Hammer Bros on the screen would be turned into a coin ship. Which in casual play are awesome. It's just this long, slow auto-scroller that's filled with like 6 or 7 1-ups in coins, and then another at least one hidden 1-up. I think there might be 2. But yeah, so in casual play, that's amazing. But we really want some of these Hammer Bros, and we don't like auto scrollers, so we try to avoid that.
Also to note that the coin ship speed is actually the same as the World 4 airship speed.
Yeah, so it's half as fast as it's half the speed of a normal auto scroller. So yeah, both runners moving into World 3. This is where the first kind of like big separation due to luck can happen. You'll notice as Chuck exits the stage, you'll see two bridges up in the kind of like right-hand corner of the screen, and you'll notice they go up and down after he completes each level. They go up and down after each time you complete a level, die, or kill a Hammer Bro. I'll get back to that in a second as Chuck puts together an amazing 3-2. That P speed is incredibly difficult. And that stage is it's a very stage.
It's quite a stage, yeah. It looks like Rupert's going for it too. Let's see if he can get it. Nope, he just lost his P speed. So he's gonna do the bops on the cheap sheeps to get across. If they're nice. Oh, he got hit there.
Okay, it looks like he's gonna make it through okay, though.
Yeah, oh no.
This is fine. Calculated. He wanted the fire flower.
Totally planned. He was just making me worry for no reason.
Chuck making it through 3-3, very nice. But yeah, as I said, basically you want to do 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, 3-4, and the fort, and fight both Hammer Bros. And that will have the bridges sync up perfectly that we can skip 3-6, which is a long, slow auto-scroller, and skip straight to 3-8 with a cloud that we have. Unfortunately, if one of these bros decides to run away, which would be run past 3-6, or if you would to take a death somewhere, it would throw the bridges off cycle. Now Chuck looks like he's going to take a little safety strat here. He went straight to 3-4. Looks like he wants to fight that top Hammer Bro before it has a chance to run away. Just due to where it went, there is a potential that it could run away. You notice Chuck, they're actually stopping to let Lakitu throw another Spiny to avoid a potential coin ship. As I said, if he would have just hit the block there, he would have ended up with 44 coins. And since he had a 9, if he ended up with an odd number on his timer at the end of it, he actually would have gotten a coin ship. So very alert on Chuck's point to take that small hesitation to avoid a big time loss.
Yeah, it looks like Rupert's getting rid of the bros right now. Luckily, none of them had a runaway bro, so we're not going to see any unfortunate 3-6 deaths.
Yeah, Chuck took a considerable amount of extra map movements, but still much faster to play it safe like that than to risk a bro running away. He lost a handful of seconds doing that, as opposed to probably close to a minute he would have lost had the bro run away. So.
All right, so now we see Rupert just finishing up 3-4. So now he'll use his cloud to get past 3-6 to go into 3-8, while Chuck is moving into 3-9. We're gonna see an H jump here. Get the H jump.
H. Yeah, as you said, since we did just use a cloud to pass 3-6, if there was a rule 1 in Mario 3 Warpless, it would be don't die in 3-8, which unfortunately the one stage in the world that you want to die in the least. Obviously, you don't want to die at all, but the one stage that you want to die in the least would also be the one that has a boss bass in it, which is, a one-hit kill, as Rupert jumps the H pretty cleanly as well.
Also, a good thing to note, they're going to be fighting Wendy coming up in this airship, so it's very crucial to have fire in this level so that we can get a quick fire kill on Wendy. which is more considerably the more easier fire kills in the game. If you were to not have fire, you would have to like stomp on her head, and she throws these rings around, and sometimes the hitboxes can be hitboxes, and you know when you try to stomp on her head, she'll like throw a ring, and then you'll get hit instead of her. So it's a good thing to have fire here and for this fight.
Yeah, as you said, most fire kills, actually all fire kills other than World 3, are much more difficult than the jump kills. Wendy, fortunately, is on a flat ground. There's just a flat surface that she runs along in her room, so it's actually very easy to just spam fireballs and kill her that way.
Here we go with the fire kill.
Looks like
Chuck gets it very nicely.
1548 or 49 wand grab from Chuck.
Yeah, it looked like it was a 48, just changing into 49 when he grabbed the wand. So we'll see what Rupert gets here. And then we can pretty much get a general idea of how far behind he is. While Chuck is approaching World 4, which is Giant Land or Big Land.
Yep, everyone's favorite world as a kid.
Oh. Okay, Rupert gets it, so he's going to grab the wand at 1627.
Yep. Chuck, very nice setup there to get early P-speed in 4-1. There's sort of two setups in 4-1. Chuck just pulled off the slightly faster but much more difficult setup, so...
We'll see what Rupert goes for here. Chuck also getting P-speed in 4-2.
Alright, looks like Rupert's gonna set up with the easier one. Oh, unfortunately it does not get it.
Yeah, I think it was just like maybe a pixel away from getting P-speed.
Yeah, that setup can be a little awkward. It's a little tricky where you have to land. Chuck fighting the Cloud Bro right away, moving into, I'm pretty sure, everyone's favorite stage in 4-3. If you run this game, this is basically, if we ask everybody, and almost everyone said that this was their favorite stage to do in the run, and you kind of see why as Chuck puts on a very nice display here of platforming through 4-3.
Yeah, 4-3 is an absolute sight to see when done correctly with P-speed. As Rupert's going to have his shot at 4-3 now.
And Chuck moves into 4-4, quite possibly the worst stage in Warpless. Not only are you stuck swimming, Chuck with a very interesting fireball strat there, not even having any of Lakitu's business.
Doesn't want that snipe, especially.
Yeah. And that's the unfortunate part is even if you kill that first Lakitu, there is another Lakitu kind of flying up well above the top of the screen that'll still throw spinies at you, so...
Rupert's coming up on 4-4 while Chuck uses the music box to put those bros to sleep, so I'm assuming he's going to try to pick up a P-Wing in World 5 and try to avoid the other bro.
Yeah, so Chuck's setup there wasn't very good for fighting the bros. And now, ideally, most runners, we have a music box coming in, and ideally we want to fight only one of the P-Wing bros, and we want to skip both of the stars. Since Chuck, I'm pretty sure Chuck saw there that he wasn't going to be able to skip the star bro, so and he can music box them and not worry about fighting them later. So he's just going to use his music box here and, play the odds in World 5. A very nice early P-speed strat in the fort from Chuck. Again, just kind of showing why he's such a high seed. Like, he is very consistent in clearly knows what he's doing in this video game. Rupert picking up the P-Wing here. I don't... okay, looks like he just fought all of the bros, so...
Yeah, he fought all of them.
He's gonna be a little bit further behind Chuck exiting World 4, but now he'll have a music box still, excuse me. So he'll be able to skip both of the bros on the ground in World 5. So there's a potential that he'll make up a good 20 or 30 seconds on Chuck in the ground, depending on what Chuck's luck is.
Shout outs to 69 coins.
Yeah, Chuck setting his coin count to the objectively correct number on the World 4 airship. As I said before, isn't just a meme. He is setting that as a way to try to help avoid coin ships. You want to avoid multiple 11s, so setting it to 69 just actually, helps set that up. So as we move on through this World 4 airship, as Supersonic alluded to earlier, the slowest moving auto-stroller in the game moves at a blistering 15 pixels per second. Not really a whole lot for our runners to do. One tricky jump kind of coming up right here that Chuck is coming up to, just to kind of avoid this little gauntlet of flamethrowers.
And he gets it.
Makes it up there just fine. Rupert thumbing his nose at the meme. Well, it's a controversial strat. Sitting at 68 coins. I'm not sure with that one.
Alright, so here we go. I always get confused with the Koopa Cage names. That one's Iggy, right?
That one is Iggy, because Iggy is a jerk.
Yeah, I always get confused because I know there's like Iggy and Larry and Lemmy, and there's just so many different names for the Koopa Kids. I always lose track of who's who.
Yeah, Iggy, one of the Koopa Kids that kind of jumps really high and really quickly, much like the Cheep Cheeps in 3-2. And depending on how you land on him, if you jump at the wrong time or you hit him at kind of the wrong time, he'll be moving so fast upwards that he'll kind of clip into Mario, and the game won't actually register that Mario jumped on him. It'll just register that Mario's hitbox is inside of an enemy, so, that means you take damage. So, luckily, Chuck made it through without taking a hit, as he's on to World 5. And Rupert getting ready to test his luck against Iggy.
Now, the World 4 airship, that takes roughly about 2 minutes, correct?
Yeah, it's a little over 2 minutes, I believe.
Gotcha, okay. There we go, 5-2 for Chuck. Bounces off that music note block to avoid the Pit of Despair.
Yep, no Pit of Despair today. Much faster and much safer to go the top route. If you fall into the pit, it is a considerable time loss. One, because you fall for literally forever in order to get to the underground part. And then it is just, the underground part is just this awful slew of, it's a horrible Mario Maker level, basically, of just like spikes and the ice block throwing little like muncher dudes and piranha plants. It's awful. So Chuck making it through my personal favorite stage in the game, the ground fort. I love how that stage looks, just kind of when all the cycles line up with all the waffles. Like it looks incredible, and it looks way harder than it actually is. So there's always that too.
Yeah, the ground fort for World 5 is actually really fun too. I like that one. Oh, Chuck fights the Star Bro. I think he was anticipating. Oh no!
Oh no! Well, dilly into the pit of misery.
Now we're gonna see how much of a level this stage is.
So, Cujo IHSV actually developed a P-Speed strat for this section. Obviously, it's still slower. Nice wrap around, like, green block there.
That was
Rupert
beautiful.
with the swag.
Well, he got through, even
Yeah,
though he took a considerable time loss there. But
he
my
made it through
gosh.
the level as Chuck makes it through the tower, very cleanly. Another very difficult and technical level, especially to keep P-Speed all the way through. It looks like he took a hit. I didn't quite see where. I was too busy watching Rupert in the pit of misery.
Yeah, I believe he took a hit in the tower.
But another thing to note, Chuck is down a P-Wing. He did not go back and fight the P-Wing on the ground. So we'll see kind of what he decides to do as he picks up P-Speed here in 5-5. Very nice. Not an easy strat at all. Save a little bit more time. As Rupert puts both of the ground bros to sleep. So makes a little bit of time back up on Chuck. Unfortunately, still probably losing a little bit because of that unfortunate 5-2.
Alright, so Chuck grabs the Fire Flower in 5-7. Rupert's making his way to the final couple rooms of the tower. Almost getting sniped by the Lucky 2, but barely makes it out of there.
Yeah, Rupert making it through the tower, making it look pretty easy. As somebody actually brought up in chat, Chuck actually has a couple options. As that music box bro just decides to be an absolute jerk and run down in front of the basically the worst possible place. So that's gonna be a little bit of an unfortunate time loss for Chuck. There's nothing really he can really do about it. But yeah, as I was saying, Chuck kind of has two options at this point. I guess three. He can either, because normally he would use that P-Wing to either fly over 6-9 or 7-6. There is also the option that he does 6-10 and picks up the Fire Flower there. I'm not sure how practiced he is in that. It is still a touch slower than wall jumping, but it's not that much slower. And if you're not feeling confident in the wall jump, it is a very respectable option. But it is a very difficult P-Speed setup to get. As Chuck clouds 5-9, fights the music box. Both runners did just fight the music box there. Both runners did need to fight that music box. As they have both already used their music box. Ooh, Rupert taking an unfortunate hit. He won't be able to get that fire back until the airship now.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if his A-press input didn't register, because it looked like he was trying to go for a jump, but he just ran right into that Goomba block.
Yeah. Rupert moving into the Sky Fort. Didn't really mention this during Chuck's part. The wonderful fortress that is not only suspended over lava, but also has lava on the ceiling. I'm not exactly sure how that works. I feel like I want to get a hold of Bowser. He hasn't returned my phone calls. Like, I want to know what kind of interior decorator he has, because it's just impressive.
Like, imagine just like staying in a place like that, and you have like Podoboos just dropping from the ceiling.
Yeah, like...
You can probably warm up your food quicker that way.
Yeah, man. Rupert moving into 5-8. Shoutouts to Nintendo Power. Proving Nintendo Power wrong. You don't need that power up, despite what they will tell you. Nintendo Power tells everybody that you have to have that power up at the beginning of the stage, and it's impossible to make it through that stage without getting hit. So clearly, both of our runners showing Nintendo Power. Maybe they don't know all that they think they know.
Yeah, then we actually saw Chuck pull off a beautiful fire kill on Roy. Roy didn't jump at all in that sequence, and he managed to get all 10 fireball shots on him.
Yeah, Roy, one of the scarier fire kills, just because the Bartolo Colon of Mario 3, Roy Koopa, he's been getting them gains. He's a big old boy. Whenever he lands, he'll send out a shockwave and kind of stun Mario if Mario is on the ground. So, and the way that fight normally works is if you get hit once, a lot of times you're just gonna get stun locked and probably end up dying. As Chuck moves into World 6 here, uses a hammer, fights a hammer bro, and that hammer bro feels really bad that we just used our last hammer. So he's like, "Yo, bro, here's another hammer." Like I feel kind of bad for you using that one. So Chuck moving through the fortress here, ain't got time to take a magic carpet ride, so he's gonna damage boost across the spikes. Also helps being small Mario here, and he's gonna grab this star, come in and say hi Boom Boom and bye Boom Boom.
Orb.
As Rupert shows the jump kill on Roy, and kind of saw how low Roy jumps there.
For being a big boy, he can't jump too high. So, but he does have that shockwave thing, so that's like pretty much his plus of his movements, I suppose.
Chuck looked like he was going for the early P-speed strat there at the beginning of 6-4. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get it. I believe that is sub-pixel dependent, so I'm gonna blame sub-pixels there. That's what you do. Anything that doesn't work in Mario 3, just blame sub-pixels. There's a good chance you'll be right.
Sub-pixels and the A press, most of the time.
Yep. As Chuck moves into 6-5, the first of the sort of puzzle levels. The idea is you're supposed to fly up here and bring that turtle shell up, and kill. There's supposed to be 2 nippers there. But with a very nice setup there from Chuck, he's able to despawn one of them and make it up without actually having to take that turtle shell up.
The Cloud Bro looks like.
Yep, awkward pattern from the Hammer Bros there from Chuck, but as I said before, he knows which way the bro faces after he is done moving, so he knows exactly which one he wants to fight there.
And he actually skipped one of the bros via the screen transition.
Yeah, so if a bro is on a screen transition like that, you can actually just kind of buffer right past them as Chuck did, and just basically you can put in an input before the game realizes that, hey, Mario's on a hammer bro, maybe he should stop and fight him. And it allows you to just kind of zip right by them without having to fight them. So, pretty good luck from Chuck there. As he moves into 3-8. And this will kind of tell us what route he's going to do, because if he takes a hit here, we'll be expecting a 6-10 or a 6-9 wall jump.
Okay, he might do the 6-10 strat, because he's still maintaining mushroom here.
Yeah, either... I'm hoping he didn't just forget to take a hit, but yeah, he might be doing 6-10, which I'm excited for 6-10 because the Lemmy fire kill is quite possibly the best thing in this video game. Oh, Rupert having a little trouble getting this turtle shell. As Chuck moves into 6-10, one of the hardest P-speed gets in the game, and unfortunately isn't able to get it. So he's going to lose a little bit more time here. I believe doing this section optimally with, a fire kill on a fire kill on Lemmy and the fire kill on Boom Boom is about 6 to 8 seconds slower, I believe.
Alright, so we see Chuck heading into 6-4-3. There are 3 forts in World 6. I think that's the most in the game, correct? Like per world?
Yeah, I can't think of any other world that has more than 2.
Alright, Rupert heading into 6-4-2. Unfortunately, without the raccoon leaf.
Yeah,
I didn't pick one up here.
I didn't see exactly where he lost that.
He lost it in the bro fight.
Didn't really mention it on Chuck's trip through this stage, but one of the stages that kind of pushes the leaf physics to its to its limit. Because as I said before, kind of didn't see it. Unfortunately, Rupert kind of messed up the first flight there slightly. You didn't really see it on his end, but on Chuck's end, you kind of saw him make those first 2 flights on the same P meter, and you have just enough time to make that before you actually run out of your P meter, as it were. Chuck setting up for a little jump here. Is he gonna make? Oh no! Okay, nope, he's fine.
I always get freaked out by that, but I keep on forgetting there's like just a little bit of a platform there that you can stand on.
Yeah,
that's
there's
like off screen. Swag clip there.
There's a nice little platform there that I can only imagine that Nintendo put it in the video game just for people like me to troll anybody that doesn't know about it while I'm doing runs.
And then we see Chuck get that swag clip in the airship to avoid the flamethrowers on the bottom.
Yeah, it does absolutely nothing except allow you to set your controller down for a solid like 10 seconds and not have to do anything. So Chuck coming in, let's see if he can get this fire kill. Oh, interesting setup for the... That is not the setup that I am used to, but a very nice fire kill all the same.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that he would like bounce against the Koopa and then just kind of shoot the fireballs while bouncing on the shell. But
that's the normal strat that I've seen. I don't know if that's a new strat or if that's something Chuck's just kind of come up with, or maybe he just improvised. Maybe he's not as well practiced in the fire kill as I would think, and he just kind of improvised. I'm not sure. But yeah, the normal strat, as it were, that I normally do, and I know I've seen most runners do, is they just kind of jump into that corner and just kind of bounce up against the wall as Chuck moves into 7-1 as he tries to clip into this wall. Looks like he's gotten subpixeled a couple times. So basically, I have people ask in Discord all the time, like, what's the secret to clipping? And the secret to clipping is you jump into the wall and hope. Chuck, man, this wall is just not having any of it right now. The idea is, you want to jump and you want to get Mario's head stuck into the wall. And if you're in a wall, the game's basically set up to keep you from getting stuck, so it'll just keep pushing you right until you're out of the wall. Yeah, clearly they patched the 7-1 clip here. I think at this point it might have been faster to go through the stage. Oh no, Rupert missed the
Did he lose that mushroom?
Yeah, he did not. I guess he didn't hit the block on the right side, and it went away. He was not expecting. As Chuck just says, I've had enough with this stupid clip, and just goes into the stage. Getting some DLC content here from Chuck. Unfortunately for Rupert, he's not even going to be able to try and make up time by doing the 7-1 clip himself because he's small. And unfortunately, you have to be at least Big Mario to be able to do that clip. So, very nice 7-1 all the same. For what I can only assume was 100% improvised, because I don't know anybody that practices the inside of 7-1 for Warpless.
Well, I gotta say, it's probably worth 10 cents to play that level, so got your dime's worth.
As Rupert actually uses a P-Wing, so this is actually pretty smart. Uses a P-Wing to basically fly up this level. Is going to save a little bit of time. So he's actually going to make a little bit of time back on Chuck, all the same. As Chuck makes it through 7-2, uses that Fire Flower to take a damage boost, because at this point we don't really need our power-ups. And he's able to use it to build up P-Speed to jump over that gap you saw. It's very important that he jumps over that gap, because the game kind of intends you to go down there and make all of these white note blocks appear to kind of get over that chasm. And it's really slow. You have to go in this whole underwater section. Yeah, and as somebody asks in chat, no, you cannot fly over 7-1, unfortunately. As Rupert having a little trouble here with the P-Speed get. So he's going to have to take... Oh, no. Takes a hit, so now I guess we'll get to see the air quotes intended strat. Let's see if he goes down and grabs this backup mushroom. Nope, he's going to go right on without it. as Chuck moves on into the fortress, another sort of puzzle level. A pretty empty level. There's only a Tanuki suit and a Boom Boom in here. And the game kind of intends you to find that Tanuki suit and, come up here and fight the Boom Boom, but we know exactly where the Boom Boom is, so we're just going to use a P-Wing because it's faster.
Alright, so we see Rupert make it through 7-2 just fine. Had a bit of a hiccup there, but still managed to get through pretty smoothly afterwards. As Chuck uses the P-Wing to get through 7-6, which is one of the more intended ways to, I guess, go over the level. Otherwise, you would have to, like, play this really obnoxious underground level that has, like, it's kind of like a maze in a way, but, with the P-Wing, you just fly over it, no big deal. Or if you didn't have the P-Wing, you can actually clip through the corner, just like in 7-1.
Yeah, shoutouts to One Warp where that clip is basically required.
Alright, Chuck is going through 7-8 here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's on my end or not. It looks like Chuck's having a little bit more frame drops there. Looks like he's going to Cloud 7-9. Interesting choice. I know Chuck usually... so basically the runners at this point, I guess we can explain that a little bit more. As looks like Rupert's going to be clipping the next stage as he took damage there. He did use his extra P-Wing already, so he doesn't have one to fly over the stage. And gets it first try. What a god. Chuck finishes up 7-4-2. As I was beginning to say before, Rupert just blows us all away with that first try clip. There's basically the runners at this point had one cloud remaining. There's really 3 options to cloud at this point. 7-9, 7-4-2, or 8-fort. The fastest would actually be to cloud 8-fort. Which is what Chuck normally does. I'm not sure if just in a race environment he doesn't feel comfortable enough doing that, or well, I'm not sure exactly what his motivation here is. And we'll see what Rupert does. The safest strat, air quotes, would be to do 7-9 and cloud 7-4-2, which is not what Rupert's doing. Going into 7-4-2 small. And if don't die in 3-8 is rule number 1 of Warpless, don't die in 7-4-2 would certainly be the second rule. Because as you saw, no!
That wastes
yeah, so unfortunately breaking rule number 2, as you see, he has to now basically just wasted a cloud. Now he has to go back and do 7-9. It looks like he's gonna attempt the clips here. So yeah, 7-4-2 is definitely a daunting stage as it is over lava, that first room. And the Boom Boom is one where he'll just randomly slide after you hit him. So, and you normally go into that fight small, so it is pretty scary altogether. As Chuck moves on to the longest stage in the game, the World 7 airship. Moves, even though it moves at twice the speed of the World 4 airship, it is just so obnoxiously long that it does eke out the World 4 airship in time just by a little bit, as Rupert makes a second attempt here at 7-4-2. Makes it through. Oh, no!
Oh, no! And a bunch of pauses.
Yeah. The unfortunate turn of events here for Rupert. I think we've all been there. As Chuck finishes up World 7, and I know what you're thinking. Man, that auto-scroller was just... It was so fresh. I need at least 2 more of them in my life. Well, don't worry, dear viewer. we have got you covered, because coming up here at the beginning of World 8, we have 2 more auto-scrollers to start the world. Chuck moving in was able to pick his fire back up on the airship, but didn't really mention that the World 7 airship is actually the only airship in the game that has 2 power-ups on it, both of them fire flowers. As Rupert enters the throne room of World 7. I guess we can start talking about now. Coming up after Chuck is done with these 2 auto-scrollers, there are 3 optional stages, lovingly referred to as the hands. Unfortunately for our runners, the option is not ours. Each stage is an independent 50-50 chance as you move over them to get grabbed and be forced to play the level against your will. So we do have a little game in chat to guess how many hands both of our runners combined will get. It's typically anywhere between 0 to 6. Although it is possible to get more than 6 just due to, if a runner gets a hand, dies in said hand, and then gets that hand again, that counts as 2 hands. So it is possible to go over, but not likely, I would say. As Chuck moving through this first tank level, you did notice him kind of killing those bob-ombs there. That wasn't just for swag. Actually did that to try and reduce a little bit of lag, because this was an NES game and it pushed the NES to its limit. So all of those enemies will cause a lot of lag if you let them build up on the screen.
Yeah, Chuck tried to get the Wrangler's bro. Tried to shoot a fireball, but he just barely threw the boomerang. So that's what, roughly 2 seconds or so, maybe.
Yeah, it's possible that boomerang bro kind of walks at you and holds onto his boomerang just long enough that you can snipe him with a fireball before he throws it. And since the treasure that you get doesn't spawn until after all of the projectiles are off the screen, if you kill him before he throws a boomerang, it'll spawn a little bit faster, and you'll be able to save a little bit of time. It's about 2 seconds or so, but it's pure luck. There's no way for us to really manipulate it. As Chuck moves through the Navy, don't worry. As we already proved, Nintendo Power is wrong about things. That's not the blood of Koopas. It's chocolate milk. It's fine. And you may be wondering why they're not swimming in it. Well, one, have you swam in chocolate milk? It's kind of grody. It's pretty good. I enjoy drinking chocolate milk, but I'm not a fan of swimming in it. But it just doesn't really do anything, and it's possible to actually get crushed by the boat. So, we're gonna avoid that. As Chuck with some very nice boat swag there towards the end of the level. Very important, manipulating for no hands as he kills the Boom Boom in charge of the Navy and moves on to the hands.
Got the first one.
Clearly, the first hand, it says it's a 50-50, but it's clearly 90% every time. And as somebody asked me in chat, have I swam in chocolate milk? I will confirm neither deny that. Chuck, unfortunately, getting grabbed by the second hand. Second hand, if you were to get grabbed by one, the second hand is definitely the one that you would want, I guess, the most. It is the shortest of the 3. Makes it past the third hand, moving on to the fastest auto-scroller in the game, the Air Force. Moves at twice the speed of normal airships. And can be quite tricky, even to runners of this caliber. A former world record holder would not have fallen off at SGDQ last year or anything. That didn't happen at all.
Never saw it.
Nope, that didn't happen. It totally didn't happen.
All right. Rupert's about to fight the. He got boomerangless, bro.
Yep, no stock today for Rupert, making it nice little 2-second time save. Watch out, Chuck. He's on the comeback here. See if Rupert decides to go swimming in the chocolate milk. As Chuck defeats the Boom Boom in charge of the Air Force and moves on to some of the hardest stages in the game. The numbered levels in World 8 are incredibly tricky, especially to do optimally, as Chuck looks to set up P-Speed here in 8-1, and unfortunately is not able to get it. A little duck jump there, keeping P-Speed through that is really tight. But still makes it through, keeps his fire, which is the important part. Moves on to 8-2.
We'll see if Rupert's going to go for the boat swag as well. As he approaches that area. Chuck is going into 8-2. Getting frame drops like that. Oh, he kept fire. That's all I know.
Yeah, that was a nice little PowerPoint of 8-2. But looks like Chuck made it through just fine and kept his fire. He's going to use one of his 1.5 billion stars here to kind of just run right through these atomic waffles at the start of the fort. And he's going to come up here and he's going to hit this P-switch coming up, and he's going to want to make it all the way to the end of this section before that P-switch runs out, as Rupert gets grabbed by the first hand. 95% for the first hand, as Chuck makes the one cycle. Very well done, I can only assume.
Looks like he's en route to a 53 in this race.
Yep,
while Rupert gets grabbed by the third hand.
Yeah. The one hand that seems to have an actual P-speed set up for. So, I always feel a little bit better when I get grabbed by the third hand, because I can at least feel like I'm going fast. As Chuck moves into the last auto-scroller of the game. Looks like he is not a firm believer in the world-famous, patented, Day 1 affiliate, Auglib Super Tank Strat with a Vengeance TM.
Shout out to Glib.
As you can see, Chuck just thumbing his nose at the right side of the screen here. This, oddly enough, for this auto scroller, the safest place that you can be is in the front here, like all the way to the right. And all you have to do is jump when it looks like you have to jump, and mash B, and you'll basically make it through the stage with no problems. Right? He pressed left. Like, what speedrunner presses left?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, so Rupert makes it through Air Force. I didn't see exactly where he lost his fire. But,
I think it's like right at the beginning of the stage. He just kind of walked off the ledge and got hit by one of the flamethrowers.
Ooh, but yeah, that stage is very tricky. Very tricky for to make it through without a power up. As he's gonna use a star here. Looks like he's gonna forego grabbing the backup fire flower there. Fortunately, ran out of his star and took an unfortunate hit there. As Chuck moves into Bowser's castle, gets the most electrifying clip in sports entertainment, the People's Clip, and moves into this last lava room before Bowser. Very nice to get P-speed and keep it through there. And now he is 35 fireballs away from victory. I can only assume that it was 35 fireballs because Bowser is dead. And Chuck has done it. He will be moving on. Has finished with an official SRL RaceBot time of 54:16. GG and congrats to WhenChukAttacks on his victory. We'll see if we can get him in the commentary booth as Rupert moves into the fort. He's going to grab that fire flower. And again, he's going to want to kind of keep this Fire Flower all the way till the end. There is one more Fire Flower at the end of this castle, but it is a considerable time loss. Ooh, Rupert missing an up input there and missing the door. Almost falls into lava, but is able to make it over that gap. So yeah, I'm going to see if we can get Chuck in here.
Rupert just made it through the first cycle of the P switch, heading into Boom Boom's lair, shooting him down with the 5 fireballs, and thus moving on into the last auto-scroller of the game, which we will see for a second time. And will we see Rupert do the... what's that thing called? I already forgot it. Sorry, Glib.
The world-famous, patented, Day 1 affiliate, Oglib Super Tank Strat, with a vengeance, TM.
There we go. That's what it was, because my brain doesn't have the capacity to remember that for some reason. But we do see Rupert get to the ceiling of this super tank here. Can't really see where he's at, but I'm assuming he's to the right side of the screen now. He should be dropping down any moment here. And there he goes. Gonna shoot down these rocky wrenches here. Looks like he's not going to be doing the strat. He's just gonna kind of mosey around a little bit. Now he's going to the right.
And we are joined in the booth by WhenChukAttacks. First of all, congratulations on your victory. Any thoughts after that run?
Can we all have a vote to remove one level from the game?
I know which level you're gonna say, but if we're gonna do that, can we remove 2? Because I want 4-4 to go as well.
At least 4-4 can be practiced. What is the deal with 7-1? Why is it doing this to me?
That was a very, very stage. Clearly, not sure what kind of cartridge you got there, but clearly you need to get a new one. I think they patched 7.1 out of it.
I think so. I've had it for so long. It's just absorbed a patch from somewhere. It's strange, and it's driving me crazy. But just to comment on the run as a whole, I felt really comfortable. I felt like I played really, really well. Just had some rotten luck in a few spots. And that's about it. Eventually, 7-1 was the big stain on the run. But eventually, I just had to say, "This is it. Just go in and beat the level." Because after a while, I wasn't even getting close to the clip. I was just, starting to get angry and impatient.
Yeah,
that was that.
Yeah, that is completely fair. As Rupert finishes with a SRL race spot time of 57:44. We'll see if we can get him in here as well. I did have one more question for you though, Chuck. I know you normally do the Cloud 8 Fort route in World 8 or in World 7 and World 8. Any thoughts why you didn't go with that? I'm just curious to pick your brain there a little bit.
Right before the race, I did some practice in World 7, just doing different fort strats, and the one I used tonight was the one I felt best with. And after my clip attempt in 7-1, I didn't feel like 7-9 was going to go much better, so I just decided to just stick with that strat, skip 7-9, play the fort, and just go from there.
Yeah, no, that's 100% fair. After that 7-1, I probably would have made the same call. But yeah, no, I did appreciate the fire route in World 6 as well. I did want to give shout outs to that as well. Very nice fire kill on Lemmy as well. So
thank you.
Waiting to see if Rupert is gonna join us here.
Yeah, I got a pretty bad bro pattern in World 5 where the P-Wing ran left of 5-3. And so I thought, let's go for the fire route, and messed up the P-Speed strat pretty quickly. I grabbed a nice block a little early, grabbed the upper one, so I couldn't even complete the setup for it, but got through relatively smoothly and cut my losses pretty well.
All right, looks like Rupert is going to pass on the interview. Very, very unfortunate events in that race for him. Couple minor things, but that's Warpless really for you. Just very small mistakes can add up to very large time losses. But yeah, to kind of go back to your World 5, you also had the music box bro kind of get in the way as well. So that was some very luck in World 5 for you.
Yeah, agree. Also, I want to apologize for my stream. It looked like near the end I was dropping some heavy frames, and I still am. This afternoon at the end of my earlier stream, it started acting up, and it looks like it's just not done yet. We've had a lot of thunderstorms here the past few days.
Yeah, we might need an upload of the VOD. Might have to proof call you on that. There was a little bit of splicing talk in the chat from a couple people. Mainly one Awiglib. I'm not sure.
Oh, I've seen him.
He was that guy. Yeah, he was definitely leery of your performance. He might proof call you. I'm not sure.
He's always planting those seeds of doubt. I don't trust him.
Actually, I do have a question for you, Chuck.
Yeah.
In the World 6 Koopa Kid fight, were you not anticipating the fire kill for that one, or because I noticed you did a slightly different fire strat on him as opposed to like bouncing on him?
That's one I've practiced some offline. It's more of a guaranteed way to kill him with fire, as opposed to just bounce against the wall and pray. Yeah, you just kind of jump at him, toss a few, jump again, toss a few. And on your third jump, you toss 2 and bounce off of him. And then you can even shoot 2 on the way down from that bounce, and then jump and shoot 2 more. And then that's the smoothest way. I think I missed 1 on the way down, and then his bouncing balls got in the way, which you can't shoot through those. They will intercept the fireballs. So he wasn't as quick as I'd like it to be, but I did get the kill, and I didn't lose fire. So it was a decent attempt.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. I haven't really seen the fire kill on that one before, so that's pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, I was happy to show it off.
Let's see, I think it was maybe something else. I know Glib was in the chat, he was a little disappointed in your super tank there.
He always is. He always is. I've done it the same way for years. I'm not about to change it.
So yeah, sorry, go ahead, Chuck. You had something else.
I was thinking other strange things that happened. In 4-4, you might have noticed instead of bouncing off the Lakitu, I shot it. That was because I realized right away that I jumped way too early and knew he was going to fly into me. So that was just a quick, just get him out of here before he hits me sort of deal.
Gotcha. I did call that out because it's something I had never even thought of, because I hate that bounce in Lakitu. Like it's the worst part of 4-4 is trying to bounce off of him. So anytime I see somebody just like, I don't even care about going fast, just kill this Lakitu, just get him out of here. I had to call that one out. I appreciated that.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, looking forward now, that moves Chuck on to our round 5 match against our number 1 seed and world record holder, Mitch Flowerpower. I know I saw him in chat a little bit earlier tonight. I'm not sure if he's still around, but any thoughts going into that match, Chuck?
I'm excited. This is the one I've been anticipating. Definitely hope I have better luck. Might even consider clouding 7-1. No, I wouldn't do that, but it sounds like an option tonight. But yeah, I know I'll have to bring my A++ game and hope for the best of luck. I anticipate a good race. I hope it lives up to the hype.
Yeah,
absolutely,
definitely got to be one to look forward to for sure. Like,
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm certainly looking forward to it as well. That is the Battle of the Titans, as it were. Should be a great matchup. And we look at Rupert here. Fortunately for him, his tournament is not done. This is double elimination. He will drop down into the bonus bracket, where he will be waiting just a little bit to see who he plays. We have two more feeder matches before we get to his. We have Ibuba waiting for the winner of Narfman and the Haxor, and then the winner of Ibuba and either of those two will go on to face Rupert in the bonus bracket round 5. So, like I said, his tournament's not over. He's got a chance to make a run for it in the bonus bracket. Yeah. Any thoughts? Anybody? You got any idea of any predictions on who he's going to be playing?
That's gonna be a tough one because I haven't really seen much of Ibuba or Northman, or I have seen Haxer. I know he can put up a really good run. Not so sure about Northman and Ibuba much, but whoever makes it out, like it's gonna be a good race for Rupert anyway, regardless.
Yeah, the Haxor calling his shot in chat. Don't worry, guys. He'll take care of both of them. So, seems pretty confident in chat. So,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I guess we can kind of pull up the speed gaming schedule, see what else we have going on tonight. I know in about 40 minutes time on this channel, Speed Gaming 2, we have another Super Mario Bros. 3 Warpless match. Svene versus Dodge Master Dooley. One of our losers bracket matchups coming in. And then it looks like pull the schedule back up here. We have, looks like Celeste going on over at Speed Gaming 3, and the Zelda 2 randomizer weekly race going on Speed Gaming 4 right now. So if you like Celeste or Zelda 2, I'd get over there, check those out. If not, hang tight. About 40 minutes, we'll be back with some Mario 3 on this channel. I think that's just about all I've got. Anything else from you guys?
No, just thanks for calling the match. I look forward to rewatching it.
Absolutely. Supersonic?
I'm good. Had a great time being in the commentator booth with you, Lasso, and Chuck. Awesome race, man. It's always fun watching you. Kind of wish Rupert had better luck too, but he still put up a good time. But I hope the rest of the tournament will go well for him in the long run. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. But yeah, one last shout out. Thank you so much to Speed Gaming. Without them, none of this would be possible. So shout outs to Tech. Thanks, guys, for working behind the scenes and keeping all this running so smoothly while we're just sitting here talking like dinguses. But yeah, for my co-commentator and both of our racers, GG to both of you. But yeah, for Supersonic, I'm Lasso42. Good night, everybody.
See you guys next time.
Good night.